You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Great friends, how we doing here on a Wednesday afternoon? This is Kaplan and Crew on the airwaves of the mightier 1090. On the stream of YouTube. Get involved in our YouTube chat. The last couple of days have been out of this world. Guys are in there talking stuff, and we got a lot of people in the chat on YouTube. That's the heart and soul of this show. And to everybody that's going to catch up to us tonight on television, Channel 4 San Diego, Channel 4 Santa Barbara, 118 Palos Verdes, and Orange County. It's all part of the Cox Your View network. And for those of you that do catch us on TV, if you need more, there's 3 full hours of this show. You only get an hour of it on television. Go to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. Okay. So look, let me start off on where my head's at today. And I will tell you this. Giants Dodgers is something that's on my mind, and we'll talk about it. Padres managerial search is definitely on my mind. We'll get there as well. But I got to start off today with this John Gruden, Raiders, Washington football team, NFL investigation that's going on. And here goes. The latest episode in all of this, remember how it all started. Last week, Gruden said something. It was taken as racist, understandably so. And Gruden tried to shut it down. Well, it only took a couple more days. Sunday, the Raiders get beat by the Bears. And by Monday, there's more of the emails starting to show up. And it's not just saying something that's racist about DeMaurice Smith, the National Football League Players Association head. It's also now, what did he say about Roger Goodell? And when you find out the things that he said about Goodell, he called him the F word, which is, slang for homosexuals. He had a whole bunch of things to say about, the NFL forcing Jeff Fisher and the Rams to take Michael Sam, who was the first openly gay player out of Missouri in the draft. I mean, it just went on and on. There were things about, there was a picture that apparently was sent back and forth between Gruden and Bruce Allen, who was the president of the Washington football team at the time. This is when they were called the Redskins. And it was about, was it a cheerleader or somebody that's topless?
Yeah,
so
topless pictures of cheerleaders.
So there's all kinds of stuff. But before I get too deep into this story, I got to tell you guys, you know what the weirdest part about this whole story for me is? Is that I know these guys, both of them. I don't mean like
two?
we're Bruce Allen and John Gruden.
Okay. Now it's 3 people. It's up to 3.
Okay. So when you say up to 3, who's the third?
Schefter.
Okay. So Schefter aside, Gruden and Allen, I've known these guys forever. And last night I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and we were having this exact conversation. They're like, do you believe this story about Gruden and Bruce Allen and how far back we go with these guys, how long we've known them? And I swear to you, truth be told, this is the most interesting part of it for me. I've never heard these guys ever use anything like racist or talk anything racist. Now, the F word, back in the day, guys called each other that all the time. Straight guys called other straight guys the F word all the time. It was an insult, Can't use that word anymore today. Bruce Allen, have I ever told you guys about this? Have I ever told you guys about my relationship with Bruce Allen?
Yesterday
was the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Bruce Allen, you can put us all on screen, Alex. I feel like I'm just looking at myself here. Bruce Allen was my first agent out of college. Bruce Allen had gone from, his father was, a very famous football coach with the Washington football team. Back then they were the Redskins. And he then, Bruce and his dad both got into the early days of the USFL. And Bruce then became an agent. This is now like the early 90s. Bruce Allen became an agent. And he had an agency called Paradise Sports in Phoenix. And when I got done with college, that's who my agent was. And it wasn't because they recruited me or because I was anything big time. It was just that my roommate was the quarterback and they recruited him and I was part of the package. I've known Bruce Allen, honestly, since the early 90s. But I always knew him as a guy that we partied with, that we hung out with. I didn't really know him as a team executive. And as a matter of fact, I can remember him working as the CEO or the president of Washington. I was at a game. The Niners were playing the Skins back then. And I remember walking up to Bruce before the game and I was trying to get some stuff out of him. Like, come on, man, help me out. You were my agent. We were friends. Like, give me something. And nothing, man. He wouldn't give me anything. Like, and shut me down. Like, I couldn't even communicate with him. I had his phone number, I had his email, nothing. But you see, the thing is that Adam Schefter, very high profile, high visibility guy, he works his way into it where, for ESPN, you can travel to training camp. You go to training camp and you hang out at camp, you get to know guys, you maybe go out and grab dinner with guys, you create a bond, a relationship, a trust. And that's what reporters do. It's not just Adam Schefter. Listen, I can remember many, many years ago, Jim Trotter, who people have a tremendous amount of respect for Jim Trotter as a reporter. ESPN, NFL Network, Sports Illustrated. Yeah, this guy's had a really nice decorated career. But I can remember Jim Trotter, the story was sending an article to then Charger coach Mike Riley, telling Mike Riley, hey, coach, here's the article. We're publishing this in the morning. Do you have anything you'd like to say about it? So this practice of saying to a source, here's what we're about to publish. You think there's anything we're missing? You think you want to comment? We're giving you the opportunity, but we're publishing this. So for Adam Schefter to send Bruce Allen, who was the president of the Washington football team at the time, hey, here's the article we're publishing. You see anything you think I should add? You think anything I should take out? And then to say to him jokingly, thank you, Mr. Editor. People seem to be really turned off by that. But I'm not, because that is what people do. You create relationships to get information. And then if you're the person who has the information, you pick and choose who you like to give your information to. Some people like to use Jay Glazer at Fox. Some people prefer Adam Schefter. Before that, people may have chosen Chris Mortensen. Some people may like Ian Rappaport from the NFL Network. Whichever NFL insider you like, that's the person who you hand the story to. So in the case of Bruce Allen, part of the story goes that one of the football agents, a guy named Drew Rosenhaus, sent Bruce Allen an email that said, hey, this player is available for trade. I spoke to the 49ers. They said it's okay for me to contact teams. Then Bruce Allen goes and takes that information and hands it off to Adam Schefter. So then Adam Schefter can report that, hey, according to my sources, this guy's on the trade block. They're already talking to this team. That's the way this works. Reporters make relationships. Those that are on the inside of the clubs make relationships with the reporters. And that's how it goes. And if you think that Adam Schefter is the only guy that sends an article to a subject and says, what do you think? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it on? Is it off? Do you have anything you want to say about this? But we're publishing it with you or without you. We're publishing it. That happens all day, every day. So I know
the last line isn't that what people are getting upset about? The last line, you just nailed it, is we're publishing this regardless. Whereas it seemed for this particular email, it seemed like, tell me what to change.
Right.
There's a big difference in Jim Trotter saying, hey, you want to comment on this? I'm publishing it. And hey, read this, tell me what's wrong and I'll fix it.
Well, tell me what's wrong and I'll fix it. The way I read that just, is hey, here's the article I've written. I'm going to publish it at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Your subject matter, that you have it firsthand. You're giving it to me. Is there anything you would change about this? And I would take your advice because you're the one that's handing me the story.
Yeah, if you then in the story say Bruce Allen said this, not anonymous source said this, I think there's a difference.
Yeah, but these guys, right? I mean, listen.
Oh, trust me, I don't put Adam Schefter on the level of reporter, journalist that people are putting him as. He's an NFL insider that breaks news. Like that's when Adam Schefter goes out and writes a full article. I can't remember the last time I read anything that he wrote like that was a full article.
But all of these guys, listen, it's not an insult. It's just an observation. But all of these guys, Adam Schefter, Jay Glazer, Michael Silver from the NFL Network, again, Ian Rappaport, all these guys, I'm with Browner. I don't really look at them as journalists. Now, they may do some digging. They may utilize relationships, they may tell stories, they may publish content, et cetera, et cetera. I look at them as part of the world of entertainment. I just don't look at them as like hardcore investigative journalists. I look at them as I cover the NFL, and it is the world of entertainment. I'm on TV. People use the website. It's all intertwined as entertainment. I
Right. Well,
don't
that's where the
really
lines are
consider it
getting
journalism.
that's where the lines are getting blurred right now in the way I think ESPN likes it. I think ESPN likes their journalists to be entertainers, to be personalities, whereas hardcore journalists are upset at Schefter because that's not journalism the way it should be done. So when you're talking about the reaction to Adam Schefter, you're talking about reaction from journalists or people that have the journalistic integrity, people that like that's what they do, where they think this is like breaking a commandment. Whereas ESPN already immediately came out and said, like, we have no problem with what he did, and the lines have been blurred. Like, they have chosen who they decide to be as their journalist, like a Don Van Natta Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore inside, like he digs deep, does long, long pieces for ESPN. He's a different standard than what Adam Schefter is.
Okay, how about this? Let me ask you this: is Stephen A. Smith a journalist?
Hell no.
No.
Okay, has he been a journalist in his career?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but he's not
Skip
today, right?
Bayless. Right.
No.
Okay. Okay. How about Tony Kornheiser? Is he a journalist?
No.
Not anymore.
Michael Wilbon?
No.
Nope.
Okay. None of these guys are journalists.
Right.
You know, they may have considered themselves journalists when they were coming up and they were
They
covering
were at one point
stories.
in time.
Right,
They're not
right.
anymore.
Right. Once you go from I'm covering something to I'm opining about something, you're no longer a journalist. That even if you're a columnist, just because you're a columnist doesn't make you a journalist. Even if you do an interview with the subject matter, it doesn't matter. You're a columnist, you're an opinionist, you're an observationalist, you're not a journalist per se. A journalist is someone who holds true to the values of I'm reporting the story. The reader, the viewer, they can make up their mind because I'm putting the information in front of them in an unbiased way.
You know who's a journalist?
Tell me.
The guy that broke the article from LA Times, Nathan Fenno, about Adam Schefter. He's a journalist. You know, so if this story came out about Nathan Fenno, he would be fired today from the LA Times.
Yes, without a doubt. Bill Plaschke would be fired immediately.
I think
I
that
don't,
Scott.
I don't think
agree
Bill
with.
Plaschke. I disagree. Bill Plaschke's not a journalist anymore. He's an opinionist on Around the Horn. He's a columnist in the LA Times. He's part of the entertainment world in sports. Why is Plaschke different than Wilbon?
Because Bill Plaschke, in my opinion, does more writing based on information, facts, not hearsay.
I would say
what's
is way
his
more
writing?
opinion. I would say Plaschke's opinion is way more than is based on his opinion than facts. Like he comes out and he'll straight up just say things as an opinion.
I mean, he told you this year that the Dodgers are about to be the greatest baseball team in the history of baseball because they're going to have more wins than anybody else ever. That's opinion. Here's Plaschke today in the LA Times. Headline: Never give up Dodgers show longtime rival Giants. They're built for elimination games. This is not journalism per se. This is simply opinion about the baseball game.
I don't think
I don't know
writing.
why.
I don't think writing in a newspaper makes you a journalist.
Well, of course not. No,
Yeah,
but
I've been in the newspaper.
I put Plaschke.
Well, you're more of a journalist than I'm.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
put Plaschke in the
I got
exact.
work out right now.
Round
New
back
article
block.
up.
I put on the website on kaplanandcrew.com.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I put Plaschke in the exact same category as I do Wilbon and Kornheiser, guys who were journalists as they were coming up, but as their careers have expanded, they've become less about journalism, more about opinion. And just because you publish a column in a newspaper doesn't make you a journalist, in my opinion. But let's just get back to the part of the story, though, that we were getting at, which is people seem to be set off that Schefter would say to Bruce Allen, read the article. It's being published. Thank you, Mr. Editor. That's the relationship. Here it is. Why don't you read this for us, Alex?
Yeah, several emails between Allen and journalists are part of the filing too, and one of them from 2011 July. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter sent Allen the draft of an unpublished story that was published later the same day, saying, "quote Please let me know if you see anything that should be added, changed, tweaked." Schefter, quote, "Thanks, Mr. Editor, for that and the trust. Plan to file this to ESPN about 6 a.m."
Okay. So I know people are kind of put off by it, but Adam Schefter created a relationship with Bruce Allen. Bruce Allen was feeding Adam Schefter information. That's what made Adam Schefter an effective insider, not journalist, insider. And the joking, the cutesy, hey, thank you, Mr. Editor. Let me know what should be added, tweaked, whatever. That's a way of saying, hey, look, dude, you've given me all this information. Do I have it right
Right.
based on what you've given me? I don't know why people are so put off by that. And I don't think that's a fireable offense at all. In fact, if anything, I would say to Adam Schefter, nice job of creating a good relationship.
Did you guys see? I
Seriously.
mean, this kind of goes hand in hand. Did you guys see? I don't know if you saw actually, because we didn't talk about it. But the article from Sham Sharania about Kyrie Irving, because he
I
was
did
getting
not.
slammed for being a trash journalist because he just regurgitated everything Kyrie Irving's camp told him directly. Like he said anonymous sources, but really it was talking points from someone in Kyrie Irving's camp saying
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving is not anti-science, anti-vax. Kyrie Irving wants to be a voice of the people, of the millions of people that are losing their jobs for not taking the vaccine,
But don't you guys
according to
see?
an
And
anonymous source.
yeah, but don't, look, you guys understand this, I think. And I don't feel like I need to educate everybody else. I think this is rather obvious stuff. A guy like that guy, Sham Shamar, how do I say his last name?
Sharania,
Shamaria?
I think.
Sharania, excuse me. A guy like that, if he doesn't kind of do what he did, he doesn't get that. He's got an
Right.
audience. They know that he's got an audience. So he's created inroads with the Kyrie Irving camp that they'll say, okay, Shams, you're the guy we want to put out, you're the guy we want to put this out. For example, Lee Jenkins, who used to write for Sports Illustrated, now works for the LA Clippers. That guy got a lot of LeBron stories in Sports Illustrated. They handpicked him to do these stories. You know, it's because you've created relationships and because the subject matter will trust you.
Doc,
Nobody was worried that Shams is going to put something out other than what they gave him,
how
right?
y'all think Brian Windhurst on TV? Did anybody see where Brian Windhurst came from? Magically came out of Ohio.
Yeah, Brian Windhurst was covering LeBron James when both
Right.
of them were in high school
And
together.
all his information
he's
initially
ridden
came
that-
from LeBron.
Right, he's ridden the wave.
Dope. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
listen, are we supposed to consider Jim Gray a journalist? Jim Gray,
He thinks he is.
no, he doesn't. Jim
Come
Gray,
on.
come on,
Okay.
seriously, like Jim Gray was a journalist back in the day, but now when you stand there and you hold LeBron's hand when he's making the decision, when you essentially become the spokesperson for Kobe Bryant,
Tom Brady.
when you are Tom Brady's, essentially you're his PR man, you know, you're not a journalist.
I think that's just the differing of opinion that people are standing at right now. Scott, I'm with you. I don't look at Adam Schefter as a journalist. I think he's a modern day Twitter journalist. I think that Twitter has created its own genre of quote unquote journalists because the immediacy of news that needs to get out there is a must nowadays. Everything gets placed on Twitter before it gets placed on ESPN.com. And that has created that's created careers for all these dudes. Like, do you think you needed 20 NFL insiders back in the day? No, but now the NFL's network's got a bunch. Everybody, Tom Pelissero was the one that broke the news about John Gruden resigning. Not Jay Glazer, not Adam Schefter, not Ian Rappaport, not the other guy they got there. Like, there's multiple guys that have these jobs because of the need for being first. And that's
Mhm.
where they're at. That's their career.
Yeah.
I don't look at his
But
Schefter like it's like Ken Rosenthal. Is he a journalist? No, he's a newsbreaker. And someone that I hate because he told us we had Max Scherzer.
Well, hold on, everybody. We'll go a little deeper because I think the story of the Raiders, though, and the NFL, it's progressing because there's got to be a ton more meat on that bone. Hold on 1 second. Hey, I do want to remind everybody what we've got going on right now with iThrive MD. Here's the website, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. If you've been hearing me for years talk about testosterone treatments, and if you have low testosterone, and like 30 some odd % of guys over 40 do. If you have low testosterone, you may be losing muscle mass. You may have low energy. You may have brain fog. You may be suffering from depression. You may have erectile dysfunction. There's a lot of things wrong when your testosterone levels are low. When you get your testosterone levels right, man, it's a whole new world out there for you. You sleep better. You work out better. Your body looks and feels stronger. You're better in the bedroom. There's a lot of benefits to getting your testosterone levels right. And by the way, when they're low, There's a lot of other health-related issues that come from your testosterone levels being low. My guys at iThrive MD are so committed to your long-term health and wellness. They're making an offer that is something they've never done, and I don't think they'll ever do it again. For the month of October, new patients at iThrive MD will get 3 months of testosterone treatments at 50% savings. People ask me all the time, what are the dollars? $289 a month for testosterone treatments. But when you sign up now, and I say you sign up, you go in, you have your testosterone checked, the first 3 months, $145. $145 a month rather than $290. Guys, if ever there was a deal to get you to try iThrive MD, to get you to have your testosterone tested first and foremost, and if it's low, to get on a treatment. If ever there was a time to give it a try, 50% savings, take advantage of this, guys. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Here's the phone number, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Make an appointment today. New patients in the month of October will save 50% for the first 3 months. Give it a try. You'll feel the way I feel, which is like $2 billion bucks, not $1 million, $2 million. All right, stick around. So much more to get to, along with the Brown Man and Grande. This is Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Hang out.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
SDCCU is an engaged community partner. Each year, SDCCU is proud to support many nonprofit organizations throughout Southern California. Our partnerships allow us to help shape the financial lives of many through volunteerism, financial support, and creating public awareness. The result is a big impact on the communities we serve. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by NCUA. Find out more at sdccu.com.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Join the Walk for Alls at Balboa Park on October 16th. Every dollar raised stays local to help San Diegans with dementia. Register at alzsd.org/walk.
This year, Jobtoberfest is Wednesday, October 13th. It's the largest annual job fair in San Diego County for people with disabilities. Goodwill is one of our major sponsors.
Goodwill San Diego is proud of our ongoing participation with Jobtoberfest. As an employer of people with disabilities, we recognize the tremendous value they add to the workplace and the importance paid work makes in their lives. Together, we are making good happen.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive. You know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you know, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
Teatro means theater in Spanish, and in Portuguese, and in Tagalog, and in Italian, and in so many languages. We have a lot of communities, a lot of culture here, so that is the reason why teatro is in the name. The mission of Teatro San Diego is to provide arts education to underserved communities, specifically in schools. Our goal is also in tandem with arts education to provide a professional theater company and dance company so that the community can see themselves reflected on stage at the professional level. Places like Subaru have really been so supportive and have helped us come up with projects like the AMI project.
I was so honored to be at an event a few days ago and heard some of the songs from it. These guys rock. This is just an amazing thing that everyone needs to see.
We're here every day, 24/7, giving you only the finest handcrafted sports talk programming you're going to find anywhere. And we never stop. Fanatic is such a mean word. We prefer committed. This is the mightier 1090 AM.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event, the Salute to Teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego-educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win, as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox present Salute to Teachers only on Your View.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got a thrilling win against the Sacramento Republic FC on Saturday, 2-1. San Diego native Alejandro Guido was named to the USL Championship Team of the Week for his role in leading the Loyal to a comeback win. Guido scored the game-tying goal and assisted on the game-winning goal. The goal was his 5th of the season. He also had 7 key passes and completed 34 of 36 passes overall. The Loyal fell behind in the 30th minute after Sacramento scored, but thanks to Guido and a collective team effort in the second half, San Diego was able to mount the comeback and get the win, helping to solidify their spot at second place in the Pacific Division. Next up for the Loyal, they'll take on New Mexico United. Tune in here on Your View. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams-Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Stockos holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline. Off to the races. He flips the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcats. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 at El Cajon.
Stadium in San Diego. It has been a sellout the last few days. Loyal SC ready to kick off this season. Stadium in San Diego. Professional soccer has finally arrived.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Great friends, we welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino studios of Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Reminder, 7 Mile Casino. Great blackjack, amazing poker, the beautiful view of Chula Vista, Bay Boulevard, just minutes from downtown San Diego, and now featuring Sammy's Restaurant and Bar inside 7 Mile Casino with brunch on Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it is time right now to spend our weekly 20 minutes with Hammer and Hank Bauer, the former Charger player, coach, broadcaster, and now doing national radio broadcasts of NFL games, including last week's win by the Chargers over the Browns. Here is Hank Bauer back on Kaplan and Crew. What's up, Hammer?
What's up, fellas? Hey, my neck is sore. It was like, no, my neck is really sore, seriously. I'm watching the Browns Chargers, and I'm doing this the whole time.
Yeah, back and forth, turning your head.
Is there anything better than the NFL right now? Well, you know, we can pick the NFL apart, the rules, the taunting, you know, we can get into the email thing. There's so much anybody can pick about. There's so much going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to just the game, right? Is there a better entertainment thing out there than the NFL and NFL games? Watching
I don't think so. You know, Hank, it's interesting because I went to the game on Sunday, and listen, it's interesting because I'm getting a lot of feedback from having gone. And, you know, when the Chargers left San Diego, I was like, I'll never go to a game. And when they played in the soccer stadium, I never went to a game. Then last year, you couldn't go to a game because there were no fans in the stands. And this year, the only reason I went to this particular game is because my collegiate best friend is the offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns.
Alex Van Pelt.
Right. So he said, come on, you got to come to the game. And my kids were all like, Dad, we want to go to the game. Come on. So me and my kids, we all showed up and we all went to the game on Sunday. And besides the stadium, which is the most incredible entertainment experience I've ever been to at a sporting event. I mean, it's the video board, it's the noise, it's the crowd, it's the fans from the opposing team, it's the fans from the home team. It's just truly an incredible place to go watch a game. Next time I go back, it'll be for a Rams game. But that being said, I got to tell you, what a game and what a fourth quarter. And, you know, one thing I'd love to get your opinion on this. I think that the Browns really screwed up because when they had a 1-point lead with about 3.5 minutes to go, they decided they wanted to try and burn the clock by running the ball. Now, look, the statistics will tell you that they had a running back that rushed for 160 yards, and they had another running back that rushed for like 60 yards. I mean, they were running the football effectively, but they decided to run the ball. Now, a lot of people, including Browner, have said to me, well, that shows that they didn't have any confidence in Baker Mayfield. I think that the head coach, the guy who calls the plays, he made a mistake. He should have gone for the knockout. Instead, he went for the run the clock out, and it burned him. They punted. They gave the Chargers back the ball at midfield. Chargers offense was unstoppable. Chargers wound up winning the game. What do you say, Hank?
I say anytime you rush for over 200 yards, I'd feel pretty confident running the ball. You rushed for over 200 yards. You had your way. Your offensive line was winning. Those two running backs were ridiculous. And even when the other team knows you're going to run the ball, I mean, these guys still ran the ball. And I don't know about the confidence in Baker Mayfield or not. You know, I watched him, and my notes said good Baker, bad Baker. And I was in conflict. Oh my God, this guy was a number 1 overall pick in the draft, 3 or 4 years ago, right? Now, was my expectation level too high? Because I'm watching what Justin Herbert is doing. You know, I'm watching what Josh Allen is doing, right? And here's Baker Mayfield, I think in his fourth year, I think it is. Should he be better? And he was awful against Minnesota. Some of the misses, I break it down on tape. Guys were open, and yeah, he'd miss where he had to miss, you know, high and away where the other team couldn't get it, or low and away. But these are completions that a number 1 overall pick has to make. I don't know. Does it seem like Cleveland is in any hurry to extend his rookie contract?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just taking a look. He started 14 games in 2018. He started all 16 games in 19 and 20. So he's been really good and reliable from that perspective. But here's what I said to my buddy Alex the other day when we were having this conversation, kind of post game. We weren't getting too detailed, but I said to him, I go, the narrative is that the Browns didn't have confidence in Baker Mayfield. And he said, yeah, well, that can be the narrative. He goes, but here's what people don't realize. We're down to our 4th and 5th tackle. And Joey Bosa was having his way with a rookie left tackle. And you know what? It wasn't about not having confidence in Baker. It was more about our offensive line is kind of getting beat up here by the pass rush. So running the ball against an aggressive pass rush was something where a coach is trying to outsmart another coach, and it didn't happen. And then the rest of the national media jumps in and goes, they don't have confidence in Baker Mayfield.
Right. Well, let me just say this. When Larry Kahn and I, when we did the keys to the game, I said, it's not often that you say how well your offensive tackles play are going to be the determining factor in this game, maybe as much as any other thing. Because you're right. They were down to their number 4 and 5 tackles. It's just, it's crazy to run an offense like that. And believe me, it's much easier to run block than it is to pass protect in this league. Okay. But again, what's the and I thought those backups played great. Come on. Anytime your backs run, you run for over 200 yards. I don't care. Those tackles, and when they did have to protect, they did a great job. Now, Cleveland, your guy, Alex, did a nice job chipping with tight ends, running backs. The way they approached the game, calling the plays and the protection helped those tackles. But those guys played well.
Mm-hmm.
They did. The backups played well. I didn't expect it. I expected the opposite. I thought Bosa would have a big day, honestly, or Fackrell or Owosu. I thought one of these guys off the edge was going to have a big day. They didn't. They did not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Baker. I see Justin Herbert, and I see him in his second year. When you look at quarterbacks or any player in the league, to me, okay, rookie year, everybody's going to have their problems. Justin didn't really have his problems his rookie year. Okay. How much is he going to improve? And that's what I look at between the first and second and third and fourth. How much has Baker Mayfield really improved? And the question now,
I don't really, other than I can tell you that the Cleveland Browns were a laughing stock. That's why they were
okay.
Get him with the number 1 overall pick, and they were in the postseason last year, and they took the Kansas City Chiefs to the 12th round. So I think they're improving.
Okay, they're improving, but he already made him $200-300 million by being the number 1 draft pick, right? I don't know the numbers.
Well, he made a lot of money, but okay.
He's made a lot of money. What's his next contract going to look like? And that might very well determine whether they want to keep him or not, right?
He's average. He's competent at best. Kirk Cousins could have done for the Browns what Baker Mayfield has. I think we are putting a lot of pressure on a guy who has shown you who he is. He's got over 50 starts. How many starts do you need from a guy to determine what he is or what he isn't? Like we know.
Well, what don't you like about him? I'm curious why you call him average. To me, he's a 4th-year quarterback who's got about 50 starts under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, he's a guy that has taken the Browns from, again, bad team, laughing stock, and they got a new head coach, and he's added new energy.
By the way, they also had 8 of 11 new starters on defense.
Yeah, they've right. So to me, I think Baker Mayfield is still an up and coming future star quarterback in this league. You're not sure about that, huh?
Here's the thing, Scott, that we all got to remember.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to remember the only guys that really know how well Baker Mayfield's playing is his coordinator, your friend Alex Van Pelt, and the head coach Stefanski. And for me, just from the outside looking in, they don't seem to be in any hurry to go out and re-sign him or extend him.
Yeah, but that could be ownership. Right? Yeah, that could be ownership. I mean, listen, you're right. I mean, Josh Allen was extended. Patrick Mahomes was obviously extended. I think
Lamar Jackson has not.
But if Browner's talking about like being average quarterback, would you say, Scott, aren't you more likely to put Baker Mayfield in the level of Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, instead of a level of Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen. Like, I think there's levels to the quarterback game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a deterrent to say that Baker Mayfield's average when you compare him to all 32 starting quarterbacks. He's likely in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think you would put Baker Mayfield in a top 10 right now.
Right.
You know,
I wasn't trying to down him. That's just my observation of him. After 50 starts, he's average. There's nothing wrong. You can win with average.
Exactly. You're exactly right. You got to, who are you surrounded by? Look at the difference between the Rams quarterback with the team he used to play with and the success he's having now with the Rams.
Well, how would you look at a guy? So we're talking to Hank Bauer this afternoon. It's Kaplan and crew along with Grande and the Brown man. Hank called last week the Chargers and the Browns. So when you're saying that he's average, Baker Mayfield's average,
I didn't say that.
No, I know. I'm talking about. But where do you think, Hank, just watching a Justin Herbert, who, listen, even someone like myself who no longer supports the Chargers, I can be an observationalist and see what a great young quarterback this guy is. I mean, I would say Justin Herbert, unlike Baker Mayfield at this exact moment, in only year 2, with probably about 20 starts under his belt. I mean, Justin Herbert is a very special player. I mean, I saw Jimmy Johnson this past week on the Fox pregame show. It said, of every player in the NFL, if I could redraft every player in the NFL right now, number 1, even ahead of Mahomes, would be Justin Herbert. That's what people are saying about the Charger quarterback.
Okay, and we don't know how, but again, because how much will he improve, Justin Herbert? But I'll say this: I called and studied every game, Drew Brees, every one of them as a Charger. I called it. I was there. I traveled with him. I was there. Phillip Rivers, same thing. I am saying right now, I will go on record right now that Justin Herbert has a chance. Look at Drew's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer because he's won a Super Bowl, and Super Bowls equal the Hall of Fame. He played for a million years, and he played great for a million years, and he got better and better and better. And he was smart enough to put himself with the right coach in the right city, with the right team, surrounded by the right people. Okay, Justin Herbert seems to have the right coach. He seems to have the right people he's surrounded by. He's got incredible skilled people. They've gone out, they rebuilt the offensive line. It's better. Okay, so to me, I'm not going to sit here and say Justin Herbert's going to be better than Rivers or Brees. But I'm telling you right now, I was there and I saw him. Justin Herbert at this juncture of his career is better than those two quarterbacks were at this juncture.
Yeah, he has a different skill set. He's got more skills. There's no doubt. We're talking to Hank Bauer this afternoon.
So now the question is, what's he going to be surrounded by? What's the head coaching situation, coaching staff situation? Ownership, will they do the right things and continue to provide him with tools? And will he stay healthy? And will he continue to improve? But he has a chance to be better than both of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a totally different skill set that gives him a chance to be more than what those two guys were, which was mostly traditional drop back passing quarterbacks. In Rivers' case, he really couldn't move that well. Brees was able to move around, but he's not nearly the athlete that Herbert is for sure.
Can I ask you a question, Scott? Have you been? Because that was the first time I'd done a game, and I went down on the field with fans in the stands. I did probably 7 games last year there, empty, right? What an incredible vibe.
Oh my God. It is amazing. In fact, from where I was sitting, I was so high up, and the scoreboard or the video board was blocking my view of the other side of the stadium. So I started off by telling people on Twitter, I'd say it's about 65-35 Charger fans to Browns fans. Then I walked around to the other side of the stadium and I could see beyond the video board. And then I realized it might be more like 50-50 because the other half of the stadium was all Browns fans. But the Charger fans that were there were loud. They were into it. And there was a great vibe and a great energy. And part of it is because you got the Charger fans over here and you had the Browns fans over here, and the game was going back and forth. I mean, it was awesome. I loved it. But I'll say this. Next time I go back, I was telling Alex and Browner, next time I go back, I want to see a Rams game. I want to see the difference and hear the difference. Because I will tell you, the one thing that annoyed me and my kids, the PA announcer for the Chargers is like you agree. You agree. Right away, that response. Tell me.
I don't even need to hear the rest of it. It's too loud. It's too much showman stuff.
Too much screaming.
Too much screaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, it's, if you and I both notice that, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Or we're the old guys.
That's a good point. And now, have you been to the Raider Stadium?
I have not yet been. Have you?
I did a game there last year, remember, in December against the Colts, and it was empty.
Yeah.
And I told you I love the stadium. I just love the vibe. Well, I'm off this week, finally. Next week, I'm doing Philadelphia at the Raiders.
Oh, man.
And so I'm going to see it with Raider Nation in full force. I'm going to get there Saturday night, walk around, get the vibe, and that'll be a fun report for you the next week.
Well, Philly fans will come to Vegas and want to take over. Yeah, really. Philly fans will want to take over the Raider Nation. Hank, we got 5 minutes to go here. I'm curious. You got a comment? You got a thought about what has happened here to John Gruden? I mean, this guy was one of the faces of the league, and look what's happened to him. And you talk about a guy being canceled, fired or resigning from the Raiders. He'll never work in the NFL again. He'll never work for a television network again. Skechers dropped him yesterday. The Tampa Bay Bucks took him out of their Ring of Honor. I mean, he went from being the toast of the league 2 weeks ago when they were 3-0 to being excommunicated for life from the league. Any thought on that?
Well, the statements that were reportedly in these emails makes me sick, right? It's unacceptable on any level by anybody. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, we agree.
I mean, come on, you know, if we should all learn one thing from this is
don't send emails.
Yeah, whatever you write down, whatever's on your computer, it's there forever. And they're going to find it. Whether it's a joke, not intended, you're going to say you're not that guy. I don't know John personally. I don't know who he is. I can't. But all I know is, and it might have been sent to his most trusted friend. Would have thought, but first of all, it's unacceptable the things that were written and said. I would never feel comfortable saying those things, much less writing them, because I don't think that way, right? You know me, I'm not that. I just right? And but we should all learn one thing from this, if nothing else, is if you say it, you write it, it's out there forever from now on. That's the way life is. So be really careful, super careful about what you say and what you write.
That's right.
And I mean, that's to me the biggest lesson in this thing.
Hank, Chargers play at the Ravens. And like I said, we got about 2 minutes here. I'm curious to hear what you think about that game. You just saw the Chargers. You probably saw the Ravens in this incredible comeback on Monday night against the Colts. And the Colts aren't that good, but still, what a comeback. What do you think about this game?
Chargers, how do you give up 42 points and feel good about yourself? Right? But the league is, you know, the way the rules are and everything else, you know, at times people just score in bunches. We saw it Monday night where the game was over.
Right.
The game was over.
Thought that Colts had that thing wrapped up.
And then a couple turnovers in Baltimore, bang, 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 you're right back in it, just because of the rules and the way how good these offensive players are and everything else. This has become it's an exciting league. I don't know how you can comfortably sit here and say the Chargers are going to go into Baltimore. And let me tell you, the Chargers are good. And I was really shocked that Cleveland ran it down their throat. I thought the Chargers were much better than that defensively. But anytime you allow 200 plus yards rushing, that's unacceptable. And that tells me you got some issues somewhere. And believe me, Baltimore's going to find it. John Harbaugh's going to find it. You can't miss 2 PATs again. You know, to me, if you're asking me who I think is going to win that game, it's in Baltimore. I'd say it's an absolute toss-up. How we can predict any games these days? Can you feel comfortably predicting any game?
I was just going to look at the. I was just going to look at the line in the game.
I think it's a 3-point.
Yeah, Ravens are 3
points for Baltimore, right?
Yeah, that's even. Yeah.
And not that I follow this stuff because I'm not supposed to. But
why not?
What's the over/under?
The over/under in the game
52?
is 52. Yeah, I'll take the over.
100%.
Yeah.
That's if I were to say and I don't bet, I've never bet, I wouldn't bet, but I would be surprised if these two offenses didn't produce more than 52 points.
I know, and that's what would be scary to me is they've set it at 52. It seems obvious that it's going over. This is the week that it would probably stay under. Hey, don't be afraid of gambling, by the way, Hank. I'm not much on football gambling either, but I'll tell you this right now. The league has embraced it, so the rest of us better start to learn it. Hank Bauer, we got to hustle. That's how fast 20 minutes goes on this show. Even Browner and Grande are like, there's no getting in here. It's just, we just like listening to you talk. Hank, great call. Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you?
I'm stretching.
Oh, okay. Hank Bauer, it is great to be with you. I hope that Corky's Pest Control is doing well by you. Corky's 1-800-901-1102. We got to hustle, Hank. We'll talk to you next week, man. Have a great weekend.
See you guys.
All right.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We don't ask a lot from you. Just 16 measly hours a day. That's it. Buy some earbuds. Listen at work, in meetings, on the way home, talking to the wife, or helping the kids with homework. They'll admire your stick-to-itiveness. This is the mightier 1090 AM.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives two at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
This year, Jobtoberfest is Wednesday, October 13th. It's the largest annual job fair in San Diego County for people with disabilities. CAES is one of our major sponsors.
CASE is excited to be a partner of this year's Jobtoberfest. At CASE, we believe that our people are our most important asset and value the talent that individuals with disabilities bring to our organization. Join our team and launch your career at CASE. Hope to see you there.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox presents Salute to Teachers only on YourView.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got a thrilling win against the Sacramento Republic FC on Saturday, 2-1. San Diego native Alejandro Guido was named to the USL Championship Team of the Week for his role in leading the Loyal to a comeback win. Guido scored the game-tying goal and assisted on the game-winning goal. The goal was his 5th of the season. He also had 7 key passes and completed 34 of 36 passes overall. The Loyal fell behind in the 30th minute after Sacramento scored, but thanks to Guido and a collective team effort in the second half, San Diego was able to mount the comeback and get the win, helping to solidify their spot at second place in the Pacific Division. Next up for the Loyal, they'll take on New Mexico United. Tune in here on YourView. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Got an opinion? Scott Kaplan says test it on cited.co. Yes, .co. SoCal Sports Talk. The all-new and mightier 1090.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
COVID vaccines are safe, convenient, and free, and they are effective at protecting you against the coronavirus. I'm Dr. Akilah Weber, a pediatric gynecologist and state assembly member, and I got the vaccine to protect my family. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone who receives the vaccine helps us get one step closer to returning to normal. Go get your vaccine today. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a site near you. Do it for yourself, your family, and for our community.
Live soccer is back. Watch Orange County Soccer Club, OC's highest level of professional soccer, live on YourView. Watch Orange County SC take on the Phoenix Rising FC Wednesday, October 13th at 7. Watch world-class players and future stars. Transform your summer with the new family game night and outdoor fun all season long. Live soccer is back. Orange County SC versus the Phoenix Rising FC Wednesday, October 13th at 7 on YourView.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us in sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Save the Stork is an organization that equips pregnancy resource centers across the nation so that these pregnancy resource centers can reach more women facing unplanned pregnancies and provide them with holistic care, compassionate choices, and just an abundance of resources to support their decision to choose life. Save the Stork has been around for about 10 years. Most people know us by our Stork buses. A Stork bus is a mobile medical unit that's equipped with the state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as very knowledgeable and experienced medical professionals.
The buses enable them to reach areas where maybe there's not a pregnancy care center nearby. We are here to walk this journey with you so that you're not alone and to help you find your heart in all of this. And that means and that you're going to make a choice that is truly going to be something that years from now you're going to be proud of.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YearView.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.